Is your resume stuck in the dreaded no response zone, leaving you wondering why employers aren't showing interest? If your resume keeps vanishing after you hit submit, it's likely getting tripped up by applicant tracking systems or ATS. But don't worry, there's a way to fix this fast. In today's episode, I'm sharing proven resume formatting tips that will transform your resume in just minutes, making it ATS compliant and hard for hiring managers to ignore. Plus, stick around because I have not one, but two over-the-top free career resources just for you: an optimized ATS resume template and a must-have cheat sheet filled with AI-powered prompts to help you simplify the resume writing process, saving you time and effort in the end. Hey, if you're new here, I'm Heather Austin, a university professor turned entrepreneur, and I love turning complex job search tasks into simple, actionable strategies you can use right away. So if you're ready to dive in, make sure you tap the like button and subscribe to this channel if you're tuning in on YouTube. And for our podcast listeners, a quick rating and review on your favorite podcast platform would mean the world to us. So are you ready to turn your resume from overlooked to eye-catching? Let's jump right in. There are 4 sections of your resume that every ATS-friendly resume needs. Now, I want you to keep this in mind as I'm telling you this. Every resume is so unique to each person. Your resume is not going to look like mine. My resume is not going to look like Trevor's or Hank's or Deanna's or Richard's. We are all going to have a unique resume based on who we are, what skills we have, what talents we have, what experience we have, and what position we are applying for. However, almost every single resume needs these 4 sections. So tune in because I'm going to share the 4 sections every resume needs to be ATS compliant. We're always going to have some sort of top part of our resume now. I'm not going to go into massive detail on the top part. We're kind of just going through an overview. If we're looking at the top part, that's going to be your contact information, the title of the position, key skills pertaining to the position, and then the summary. Every resume needs this or some version of this. Now, the second part to this is your experience. So your experience is going to be, it could even be volunteer experience if you don't have a lot. It could be contract work, freelance work, whatever it is, you're showing that you have something to offer in terms of the experience level, right? This is where we want everything to be results driven. We want it to be accomplishment oriented, which we'll talk more about that in just a second. If you can make this quantifiable, and then of course, keyword heavy. Now, after the experience section, we have some sort of education and training, right? So far, we have the top half, we have some sort of work experience or work history section, and we have some sort of education, certifications, training, something to that effect. If you don't have education or training, go find a certification program that you can enroll yourself in right now and get that on your resume. Now, after the education section, we have skills and other sections. Now, I want to make sure you guys are understanding this, how I have this laid out for you. This is a 2-page resume that I have up here on the screen. If you have more than 7 years of work experience, you are going to have probably a 2-page resume unless the company you are applying for does not want you to have a 2-page resume. There are some companies, for example, I'll just take one of the biggest ones, Google. There are some positions that they're just like, just tell us who you are in 1 page. In that case, you're fitting everything onto 1 page. If you're a recent grad, if you have less than 7 years of work experience, you're sticking to a 1 page. If you have 7 years of work experience or more, then you're going into a little bit more detail. Unless the company specifically wants just a 1-pager, then that's totally fine. Get everything on a 1 page. Here's an example of things you're like, oh, because I get a lot of people that will have a 1.5-page resume, which I do not love. I always say if it's going to be 1.5, you have to fill the rest of the resume. We need more context on that second page. So again, this is where you can add other sections. And this is going to be specific to you. You might have different sections than what I might have, right? These are just ideas that you can consider to add to your resume. Professional skills, volunteer experience, awards and honors, professional memberships, language competencies, technical skills. The list could go on and on. This is just an idea to consider. So again, those 4 sections every resume needs: the top half with your contact contact information, title, summary, so on and so forth, some sort of work experience section, quantifiable achievements, so on and so forth, some sort of education and training section, and then skills and other. Now, that could be on a 1-page, that could be on a 2-page, depending on your situation. I want to give you some last-minute reminders to think about when it comes to the ATS. Final reminders. No columns or tables, no images, no charts, no graphics. You need to have clear hierarchy. So this is where you are having your headings. They're nice, they're consistent, they all look the same. I can clearly read from the top to the bottom. It needs to have keywords and, of course, keyword phrases. And then, of course, easy to use fonts. We have all of our resume templates right now in Cambria. You could change that to Calibri. You could change that to anything as long as it's an easy to read font. I like to start it at an 11-point font. And then if I need to scrunch it down to like a 10, I will. If I need to increase the font to a 12, I will. And that's just so that it fits the space. So quick question for you. What is your ideal job title? Comment below this video or DM me on LinkedIn to let me know you made it this far in the episode. And to grab your 2 free over-the-top career resources, an ATS optimized resume template, and a must-have cheat sheet filled with AI-powered prompts, use the link below this video or in the show notes of this episode. And if you found this episode helpful, don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're on YouTube, or to this podcast if you're a podcast listener. And of course, take just a few seconds to rate and leave us a review. And I'll see you in the next episode.